Alright guys, so people have been asking about like a monk guide, and I figured I'd start off incredibly basic and just go over the talents because I don't think anyone really knows what they're doing yet. Some of these could be off. First one is, I believe you get a little bit of a sprint that can stack twice when you roll, which is probably decent for some kind of raids, but it's not really all that useful because you're already at a set distance that you're going to roll, and most of the time I end up rolling past my target in the first place. It's really just to get rid of slows or like dodge a capacitor totem or roll through a ring because you're fast enough to do that. And then the other one gives you more rolls, which the way those cooldowns work, it's 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds, even though I think it goes to like, I don't know, 16, 16, 16. But you still sort of wait on your rolls regardless for the same amount of time, so adding more may give you more rolls for the first 30 seconds of an arena match, but it's not really all that good. The reason I don't take either of those is because Tiger's Lust is too good to pass up. It gets you out of roots. It's also sprint. I don't think there's anything remotely close to that level in the first tier. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't see how I could possibly be wrong off that. Getting out of roots is pretty important. You can do it on teammates too. The other two are just for yourself. Not really much to argue. Second one is Chi Wave versus Zen Sphere versus Chi Burst. I think Chi Wave's the best, at least for a DPS monk. Zen Sphere may end up being good. I can actually tell you 100% I've never played with it. I think I did on beta a little bit on like 85 monk, but I was just sort of looking at their abilities. I'm pretty sure Chi Wave heals for more total if you can get all the bounces and can go to your teammates to heal them. So just more or less I take that, and that's what I've seen almost everyone taking, so I don't know. I would require testing to do that, and then Chi Burst is got a cast time, and it's really finicky to use, and it doesn't even heal for as much as Chi Wave. The thing is, it doesn't have a cooldown, I believe, so it's might be pretty good for like the actual rest of spec. Next one's the one that gives you your like combo points or whatever. It gives you 5 Chi, all of your Chi, or 1 every 20 seconds for Jab. Jab and Chi Brew, I think Jab actually pulls a tiny bit of head if you're a rating. I think you'll end up with like 1 Chi every 4 minutes or something with the way the cooldowns are. But it's not all that much. I much prefer to have the on use for some added damage if you need it, or defensive cooldowns when you need it. And being able to control when you use it, just more resources is always going to be a good thing. It's kind of like Empower Ruin Weapon for DKs, although not quite as good. Hence the reason Empower Ruin Weapon's still a 5-minute cooldown. Don't know why that's still 5 minutes though. It's strong, but I don't think it's that strong. It's not a recklessness by any means. But Chi Brew is pretty much what I've been going with. This one is actually kind of interesting. Deadly Reach may be decent on healers. Increases the range on Paralyzed by 20%, or by 20 yards, so you can use it from a distance. But it still has its facing requirement, so you have to be behind them still, which makes a 20-yard thing kind of really hard to use effectively. As opposed to melee range where you can just sort of almost instantly go right through them and paralyze them for a full sap. The next one's sort of a 30-yard range. If you play League, it's like a Sona ult. It's just a line stun for a little bit, and it's a decent stun. Why is this warrior popping all of his cooldowns on me? That's so mean. I didn't even karma you. Oh well. And it's only for 3 seconds and it's on a longer cooldown. Leg Sweep is basically an AoE kidney shot. It's actually an AoE throwdown. If you trinket it, you'll still be stunned for like 0.5 seconds or something. And it's really, really good at a 45-second cooldown. So maybe the other two are situational if you're never going to be easily in melee range. If you're like healing a spell cleave as resto or something, the charging Oxwave might be decent, but I think Leg Sweep's too good to pass up. Again, it's too easy to use, especially in BGs or if you're just doing 2s or don't know where you're fighting. The others are like really situational and probably more intended for the healers. Healing spec. The next one's actually really interesting. I've never played with healing elixirs either, but I know exactly what it does. It'll give you roughly 30k health every 10 seconds if you pay attention. You can use Tiger's Eye Brew every 4 Chi, which is going to happen more than every 10 seconds. So what it comes down to is you could, if you pay enough attention, get 10% of your health back every 10 seconds. Or is it 10%? Yeah, it's like 30k. And you end up sacrificing just a little bit of your damage. It's like, what do you end up giving up? Well, you don't technically give up anything because it stacks, and then it just consumes your stacks for increased damage. You give up some of your burst maybe from the 20%, or maybe it's 10% damage increase from it. As you can see, I have 10 right now, and I'm about to use them. There goes the increased damage, where you can actually do damage as a monk. But you could consistently be using them for heals when you're defensives, and you have other brews other than that. It's just, the point is, if you pay attention, you can use it every single 10 seconds. So it's 1% of your health every second if you're up to the task of managing it. So it looks pretty good. I would require a lot of testing, and at least for generic BGs and most of the time in 2s and 3s, diffuse magic and dampen harm are just too good. Dampen harm's pretty much shield wall, except it's not quite as good. I believe it's on a significantly less cooldown. If it's the hits above 30k, it'll cut it in half, I think, for 3 of them. So all the little damage it won't do too much on, but the big hits, like if a warrior pops all his cooldowns, definitely will. And then diffuse magic is like, it reflects all the dots on you, so you can get rid of it. You can get rid of novas. It won't nova them. Trust me, I tried. I was slightly upset when that happened, but you can still get off a UA, a haunt, everything, and it's really nice. You can't use it while you're CC'd though. But it's what I use 90% of the time, just because you can get out of roots. That's huge. Monks have really no natural way of escaping. I don't have a Zerker Rage or a Lichborn or something like that. And then the offensive cooldowns, I've only played with Zon, just because I think he's too good. Healer Spec may take one of the other ones, because he just does damage for the healers, but it's just a summon pet, just seems far too strong. And I should test them, but I really don't feel like it because he's so strong. I just like the playstyle. It's like summoning Gargoyle. Anyway, that's pretty much it for monks, at least on their talents. I'll do more later for you guys, preferably when I have more time, because this was, if you don't know, the servers went down earlier today, and this is being made during the downtime, so I sort of have crappy footage, and I can't log in game and get nice screenshots and make it look pretty, so I'm trying to leave it pretty simple so that people don't get mad, and you could log on a monk or go Google this and think for yourself. Anyway, thanks for watching.